The best thing about NFL football is the underdog stories from training camp. We're catching one right now in preseason. Carson Steele looks like he's locked to make the Chiefs. Looks like he's a lock to maybe see some touches this year. Some of you guys are wondering, like, hey, do I need to pick this guy up for fantasy football? Do I need to draft him? Do I need to pay attention to him? What is on the horizon? We're going to look at that right now. But before we do, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're doing these deep dives on players every day, and we'll do it every day throughout the season with new news, with trades, with guys on the waiver wire. Sometimes we'll do the same player multiple times, once a week even if it's a hot player. Click that button. Stop missing out. We'll help you set lineups. We'll help you win the waiver wire, everything else. But Carson Steele's going off. He's a monster out there. He's earned a spot with the Chiefs, and a spot with the Chiefs in this prolific offense is a huge deal. Britt Coleman's mentioning on Twitter that he's going to get more run than what people expect. The thing about this, running backs get hurt. Nothing against Isiah Pacheco, but you need to know the backups of just about every backfield and just have your finger on the trigger just in case. We're looking at Carson Steele, undrafted free agent, going to the Chiefs. The odds were stacked against him of making this team. Now it looks like we're going to do it. Now it looks like we're going to get this opportunity. And when we look at his collegiate career, we went off of Ball State. We did good, especially in 2022. 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns with UCLA. Productive, 847 yards, catching 17 balls. Good in your first year. Last year, he created 40 missed tackles, averaged 3.85 yards after contact per attempt, which is top tier. 4.02 yards after contact per attempt in 2022 during his last year at Ball State when he rushed for 1,500 yards. Dude has been lights out. Dude has been solid. It's hard to be productive at the Power 5 level just stepping in, going from G5 to Power 5, but he did it. Almost 1,000 yards, not far from it. Got some touchdowns, caught some balls out of the backfield, went for the draft, got undrafted. Now we're with the Chiefs. You look at this depth chart. Deneric Prince on paper. You look at the size, adjusted athleticism, and you're like, wow, this guy is a dark horse if something happens to Isiah Pacheco. But he has not been very certain this offseason. Hasn't been looking good. We know about Clyde Edwards-Helaier, the former first-round pick. Has not been lighting it up. You can't really 100% trust him. So maybe down the line in season, something happens. Carson Steele gets a shot. That could happen. That could be the underdog story we're looking at. I know he's listed more of as a fullback, but that might be the underdog story we're looking at here. But Isiah Pacheco is going to be the man. None of these running backs on this roster is going to steal his job. Isiah Pacheco is going to be the man. We're not doing this video saying, hey, Carson Steele is going to steal his job. No, we're looking at the predictions here, the range of outcomes for Carson Steele, and what that may look like. Odds are very good. He's cracking the 53, at least making the roster. Not going to be sitting on the taxi squad at all. And there's going to be times where he's going to get some run. If something happens to Isiah Pacheco, you better be watching Carson Steele, seeing if he's going to get opportunities, seeing what they're doing with Clyde Edwards-Helaier. And then there's always some years where a backfield just gets decimated with injuries. Carson Steele could be a guy you're looking at. Looking at the backfield last year, it was the Isiah Pacheco show. Clyde Edwards-Helaier averaging 3.3 yards per carry. Very dismal, not good. It's the Pacheco show until it's not the Pacheco show. And when it's not the Pacheco show due to injury or whatever happens, it's the next guy up. And it might be a mix of Clyde Edwards-Helaier, Carson Steele, whoever else they have on the roster. It might be a mixed bag. We have to see, but this is going to be an explosive offense. Whoever's getting the bulk of the load back there is going to give you some fantasy production. Is going to give you something. If not, be a guy that everybody's trying to get off the waiver wire. So when we're looking at him and his ADP, he has no ADP right now and probably won't have any ADP tomorrow. But there will be people in random drafts on Underdog just selecting him as their last pick in the last couple rounds because they're trying to grasp that lottery ticket. And that's what he is right now. A backup running back. who's a lottery ticket. It might be the third running back, might be just listed as fullback but gets running back touches. We really need some attrition to happen in this offense for him to go to the moon. We don't want it, but it's just part of football, and it could happen. That's the thing. But you don't need him because you don't want a lottery ticket like this. You want to spend one of your last picks on a different lottery ticket. Your kicker, your defense, whatever you need to do to fill out that roster, you want to do it that way. You want a more certain lottery ticket. Right now, he's just cracking the 53, possibly. Possibly. We don't know for sure, but it looks like it. It looks like it. It's a big, big lottery ticket. The upsides with the offense, there's a lot of fuel with that. He could be getting some run, but you want him because you want Chiefs. You want the upside. But what I recommend is that you keep your finger on the trigger. You watch this backfield. Isiah Pacheco is going to get like all the touches. If he starts getting touches with Isiah Pacheco still healthy, it will be minimal. But if something happens to Pacheco, keep your finger on the trigger. We'll have more news in season, but a lot of times the news that we're reading about and that I'm covering could be wrong, as they're not going to reveal their hand, and it could be just a mixed bag between him and Clyde Edwards-Helaier. That being said, you may want him. Dynasty, deep dynasty, if you got roster spots, you should be stashing. Especially you can catch that on the cheap, off waivers. If not, I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's not like he's going to just go off and be an RB1 for years on end. Odds are against that, but he is on the Chiefs. Volume would go his way. Very explosive offense if attrition really decimates this offense. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.